Sukuna has been known as a calamity and a fallen one from grace. That his overwhelming evil is just too much. Throughout the series, we still see characters like Yuji, Gojo, and Kishimo try to understand Sukuna and his actions to figure him out, and no one has been able to quite do it. This can lead to a conclusion that Sukuna can never be understood by anyone, all the way until the series ends. He just isn't someone that can be understood. His ideals and philosophies are so out of place that it makes you question his motives and why is he even here. Most of the incarnated players agreed to join KiiNGKhy's plan because they wanted another chance at life and had regrets in their previous life. Sukuna, it doesn't look like he has any regrets. He was able to turn himself into a cursed object and didn't have any wishes like the rest of them, but still agreed to KiiNGKhy's plan with a binding vow. Yuji tried so hard to understand him, but he could not reach him either. He wonders so much just why Sukuna is the way he is. He questions why he continues to just kill, and for the sake of absolutely nothing. Sukuna questions back, asking why weaklings cling to life so badly, and even then, Yuji himself tells him again and again that Sukuna is just a curse. He has no feelings or sympathy for others, and Yuji, who is a caring and kind person, could never understand Sukuna. Sukuna is a calamity and the king of curses who wants to roam around and slaughter everything in sight. He lives for a good challenge and listens to no one. He has his own way and doesn't like to be bossed around. Take it from him. Someone who frequently taunts and insults Yuji, calling him a brat and even laughing at or enjoying Yuji's despair on multiple occasions. Yuji can never properly understand Sukuna, and when they fight each other again, I think Yuji is the closest one to truly showing Sukuna what love is, as Sukuna still hasn't stated his carelessness for it. Gojo had put his all into trying to understand Sukuna and it also didn't work. He knew more than anyone the isolation of being the strongest and felt like he could understand Sukuna, who he thought also felt the same way. Gojo felt disappointed in himself because he wasn't able to make Sukuna give him his all, and this is probably what Sukuna desires the most, as Gojo knew that from fighting him. Throughout their battle though, understanding Sukuna was still not achieved, and Sukuna will continue on as Gojo is no longer here. Gojo's loneliness hit him the most, and he wasn't sure how to make others understand him, as he was the strongest. He thought maybe Sukuna could give him that answer as to why he holds on to the strongest with no companions or friends, but Gojo ultimately failed and it didn't work out. Kishimo also tried to understand Sukuna and asked Sukuna how he can connect to others and love those beneath him. Sukuna tells Kishimo that love is worthless and he simply responds to people who love him and challenge him by giving them death. Sukuna tells Kishimo he is greedy for trying to understand more of his fill. He already knew his answer and thought that Sukuna could give him his answer, and that wasn't the case. Kishimo still can't understand why Sukuna continues going on, even though he has already done enough and Sukuna doesn't care. He will continue to just go after humans up until the moment he dies. It's something that he enjoys and he has no care for anyone else. He doesn't feel the sympathy like Yuji, the loneliness like Gojo, the feeling of connection like Kishimo. He only has his own way that he lives and dies with. Up until this point, it feels like Sukuna really has no real motivation. His actions to now just showcase his strength and his carnage. He hasn't shown that he has a big goal and plan like KiiNGKhyy to take over the world or anything. He's just simply out there to wipe away everything. His intentions and motives have nothing to do with KiiNGKhyy, and he's just out there to enjoy his time again, now that he has free control of his body. He enjoys disrupting the lives of others and seeing despair from humans. Sukuna probably just wants to enjoy big fights again like back in the Heian era. He's most likely already accepted the fact that no one can defeat him, and so now he would just abide his time and continue destruction until KiiNGKhy's plan is put in place. Sukuna has nothing to lose, and that makes him the most dangerous person ever, as there's nothing he's holding on to. Sukuna also doesn't care to be understood. He has shown time and time again that he is annoyed by pests and weaklings, and never thought once about needing someone else. He lives according to his own rules in his own peerless world, and if he can't be understood, then that's not his problem. His drive and purpose are just too different than anyone else. He won't come to terms with someone else's thinking and only worries for himself. His cold-hearted personality and twisted mind makes him a psychopath with no real connection to people. The meaning of love to Sukuna is that it's worthless. People in Sukuna's life fought him to be validated and recognized, and he slaughtered them to grant that love. That is the only way he could possibly come close to connecting with them. He responds to love with his overwhelming force. Everything to him is about combat and power. He has no time for weaklings. As for the person who will eventually show him love, it won't be because of being stronger than him. It has to be another obstacle that will allow Sukuna to connect with them. Sukuna has shown no desires to connect with people though, so this task won't be easy and it can't be anyone. We really should stop trying to understand Sukuna, as it doesn't work. I don't think any other characters in the series could possibly try to understand him anymore. You just have to treat him for who he is. Gojo tried his best and got the closest, but ultimately failed. Sukuna's actions are a byproduct of himself, and he won't stop to connect with others or make people understand him. As the series goes on, they will have to find a way to defeat Sukuna, and that's easier said than done. They also need to figure out a plan to stop KiiNGKhyy, and I don't think even KiiNGKhyy understands Sukuna either. Sukuna is one of the characters that can never be understood, and he will just go by wreaking havoc until he dies himself or if someone takes him out. He was able to be turned into a cursed spirit, so it's no surprise as to his stature and power and how he was the only one to do it. Understanding Sukuna is very difficult, and this path won't lead anyone anywhere. Someone like Yuji should be done with this and instead just try to figure out how to defeat him rather than understand him. Sukuna is an entity that cannot connect with others. He's a king of curses and therefore has no need to rely on other people. His presence alone is different from everyone else. He will not bow down. Looking up until now, could you say that Sukuna's actions are justified? He massacred basically all of Shibuya and has been tormenting with the Jujutsu Kaisen characters since the start of the series. We don't know everything about the Heian era, but it seems like fighting was a daily occurrence there. It was a golden age, so you didn't have all the things that occurred now. Even so, I don't think Sukuna's actions can be justified, as he is a curse, but there are also other curses who don't have the same drive and ambition to level out a city like he does. Everything he does is a huge impact, and he makes it that way so others can see his power. He establishes himself as a king on the throne, and no one can stop him. He won't back down from anyone and will always accept the challenge. He had no care in the world that Kashima was coming down after he had an intense battle with Gojo, and also didn't care about Yuji and Higuruma intervening. He accepts all of it with open arms and understands that fighting someone when they are at a weaker state is the smart part of battle. Sukuna knew a lot about combat strategy and was very well informed on his immense power and is often arrogant about it. It makes you think, how did he become this way? Sukuna says he was born a cursed unwanted wrench, and maybe his life was terrible as a human. His human memories, I assume, have all faded away, and this could be big later on in the series as to why he acts the way he does. If his past is brought up more, we could see his actions and what led him to become the king of curses. His level of distaste for humans and his unwanted thirst for power has to be from something. His character is so unique and a mystery to this day, and I hope we can see more of him soon. He will have the whole world going after him, and he doesn't mind as he will take on everyone one by one and crush them all. As the series continues, Sukuna's mystery should unravel more, and we can see more of his inner thoughts now with free reign in his body. He also has his original form back as well, so it would be cool to see what other techniques he has been hiding all this time. I hope the Tagaba vs KiiNGKhyy fight isn't too long, and we can get back to Sukuna and Yuji. Many theorize on Yuji's new power-up and just how he can defeat Sukuna, but that's easier said than done. Sukuna is a calamity and someone with the utmost potential. Such authority and prowess by him makes him such a cool character. Let me know if you guys think Sukuna can be understood and if his actions up until now are justified. But I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.